Hi friends, welcome back to Frosty Eye Candy. So I'm going to do my usual and jump straight in and show you the dried results. Here we go my friends, as you can see, dried absolutely beautifully. And we've got some great effects there. And as you can see the comet, this beautiful kind of violet, magenta kind of color. Violet really, I'd say more than magenta. That is the comet, and how now I get it on the other light source, you can see the comet show us that beautiful gold interference flash that it has. And just check out the lovely Frosty Modifications here and here. So how did I get to this? Well, let me run through some colors with you. So first off, we're going to use Nebula by TLP. Here we go. Nebula is a fantastic kind of dark charcoal color that has a fantastic green and then blue interference shift to it, or color shift to it rather. And that's going to be starting with first. Then we're going to go to PBO, and this one, another great favorite of mine. This is the iridescent violet blue. And then we're going to be putting down another one of my favorites. This is of course Comet, the duo interference. One way it has a beautiful gold flash, the other way it has a lovely, as I was just explaining, the violet kind of flash to it. So that's Comet. And then the last color we're putting down, it's Liquitex. This is the the acrylic gouache. And this one is the fluorescent opera pink. And our cell activator today, my friends, it's going to be the Australian Shelly Art Recipe cell activator of Australian Floetrol, and of course, Amsterdam paint. And this one is the Prussian blue, and that's what we shall be using. So that's enough jibber jabber, enough chatting. Let's get the camera pointing down, and we're gonna get on with painting, okay? Okay then, my friends. The first thing I should say is this is a 10-inch square wooden cradle, and I've put down a black pillow there. This is tricorn black from Sherwin-Williams. And remember, when we put our pillow down, cover about 2/3 of the area you want to paint. And let's just go in for a bit of a close-up here, and we can see me putting these colors down. So the first one I'm laying down here, friends, this is the beautiful Nebula by TLP. In the pot, it looks a kind of dark charcoal color, but also has this beautiful blue flash, which you're seeing right now, but also has a green flash to it as well. So it's a duo color shifting pigment. But that's the first color right there. And just getting a little more, using up all the paints. And this is where we're getting the Frosty Modifications. This is how we do Frosty mods. We draw extra lines outside of the main area that we are going to swipe, for the main purpose to modify them after we've swiped and before we've spun. And by leaving these extra lines out, we can get some really amazing, beautiful patterns and effects, as I showed you in the dried piece at the beginning of the video. So this color that I'm putting down now, friends, look at that contrast. It's fantastic, isn't it? This is the PBO iridescent violet blue. So it has this gorgeous violet color, as you can see now, violet pink color, but also has a gorgeous blue color shift to it as well. And as you can see, I just added one extra little loop off center, off axis of the first loop of color, just to the outside of the main swipe. So when we do our Frosty Modifications towards the end, we're going to get these beautiful patterns of colors blending into each other. Now this one, another one of my absolute favorites. This one is Comet by TLP. Beautiful duo interference, gold and violet. And as you can see, I'm just adding one extra little line on the one side, because I want some just single color on one side to modify. And as you can see, I'm putting in another loop of the comet. So when we do those modifications, we're going to get a lovely pattern between the nebula, the PBO, and then the comet. And here we go, friends. Here's the last color I'm putting down. It's so bright and loud. This is the gouache from Liquitex, and this is the fluorescent opera pink. And as it says in the name, it's fluorescent, so under a black light, it will fluoresce. So hopefully this colour palette is going to give us some really great effects on this black pillow, because a lot of the colours are semi-transparent and semi-opaque. So I would say that the nebula that we put down is easy. It's a semi-transparent, the PBO is a semi-opaque, the comet is a transparent, and then the gouache, the opera pink gouache, is a semi-opaque as well. So here you can go, I'm just showing you how much sal activator I'm putting on my tool here. This is the small little swiping tool of the two sizes. One is large, one is a little bit smaller, and this one is perfect for doing smaller swipes on smaller canvas like this. So as we're just waiting for me, we're going to go and have a nice close-up of me actually applying the cell activator, so we can then watch the cells pop up in real time. So there we go. See how the Prussian blue really complements the tricorn black background and the nice basic 4-color palette. But look at those cells pop up. And while we're watching that, I'd love to tell you about a fabulous online acrylic pouring course, the Shelly Art course. It's a fantastic online course, as I said. I highly recommend it, and I even have a 15% off discount code, which I shall put on the screen right now. And while we're just waiting for the cell activator to sink, and for me just to get my head out of the way and just blow out a couple of these little edges, I'd love to also tell you about our fantastic Facebook group, the Acrylic Crazy Train. This is where you will find me and my other lovely admins that are also part of the Acrylic Crazy Train group and the Sunday Acrylic Crazy Train Acrylic Premiere. And again, I highly recommend it. It's a safe space where you can share your work, get constructive feedback on your work in a safe environment. So that's the Acrylic Crazy Train. Please search us on Facebook and join us aboard. So in you go with the Frosty mods. You can see I've already done one side, so I follow the line of the swipe, or try to at least, and here we go. It's just nice, really easy, small circles getting slightly larger into the middle of the modification, and then getting smaller as we come back into the swipe. And I didn't mention, but when we actually do the swipe, we want to try to not disturb the Frosty lines, the Frosty modification lines too much, because then when we have the swipe down the middle, we have this lovely negative space to fill with these beautiful Frosty modifications. So what I'm doing right now, my friends, is I'm just wetting the edges of the canvas. For anyone that doesn't know what this is, I believe it helps the paint meet the edge of the canvas and flow down nicely over the edge and then onto the board that I've mounted to my spinner, so we can contain all the mess. But whilst I'm just doing that, I'd love to tell you about my Sunday live show, The Joy of Pouring. It's a fantastic live acrylic pouring show, and the interaction in the live chat is nothing less than hilarious. This starts at 2 p.m. PST every Sunday. That's going to be 4 p.m. Central Time for North America and 5 p.m. Eastern Time for America. So please join us along. You'll find all of the admins that are in the group, the Acrylic Crazy Train, and it's going to be a hell of a fun time. So there you go, friends, just giving you a little preview, just checking the movement of the paint, moving it over slightly and going in for the spin. So I like leaving my spinners in real time, friends. For those that are watching for the first time or that are still learning and wondering how fast to spin, you can see exactly now. Wow, in for a nice close-up. Wow. And look at the nebula and the PBO and the comet just singing there in that corner. Absolutely fantastic. So that was the first spin, my friends. Again, just checking for more movement, and in for the second spin. As you can see, I have my fingers on my spinner board, not to slow it down or anything, but just to catch the drips that make it down to my board. And as we're spinning using centrifugal force, those drips make it to the edge and my finger stops them splattering around. So in for another beautiful close-up. Wow, this color palette is really singing. And I love the ghost cells where the cell activator has gone over the edge of the colors and then onto the background. Just absolutely beautiful. I say it most times, but it couldn't have come out much better if I tried. So this one needed a third spin, friends. I put a little more pillow down on this one than I usually do, and it required the third spin, but in we go for this beautiful close-up. Wow. So if you like what you see here, my friends, I have a Facebook store, so if you please go to Facebook and search out Frosty Eye Candy. If you like my page there, you'll also be able to view my Facebook store, where many pieces, including this one, are for sale. So in we go for a beautiful close-up. Just look at those, the interference qualities of the comet, and then the nebula together with the PBO. It's just absolutely beautiful. But check out those Frosty modifications. This is how we do Frosty mods. So thank you so much, my friends. I really appreciate your support watching my videos. Please like, share and subscribe. And as always, happy pouring.